here, polar bear. Where are you? We made it up here and it's like the coldest place and we have no heat.
It's starting to get more than a little worrying. You see Krista all curled up. It's getting pretty cold in here. You never know what's gonna happen to you on the road, and sometimes things can really get you good. Show you what life is like in the winter, just 3 miles from the Arctic Ocean here. This is the northernmost road accessible town in all of North America.
Spent like a good hour or so trying to get it out of my eye. It's looking like we're gonna get a little bit of a winter storm up here.
So I'm gonna have to take the door apart tomorrow. Yay!
What are you doing?
Mixing my coffee and my smoothie. It's gonna be delicious.
Why? That's disgusting.
I don't know, it's like a Dutch Bros coffee smoothie drink. It's gonna be so good.
Santa, if you can hear me, I'm in the North Pole, so you should hear me a little louder right now. All I want for Christmas is a normal boyfriend. Stop being so dramatic, it's probably not even that good.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as good as I was hoping, but...
Will likes to do this thing where when he tries something new or makes some sort of a weird concoction, he acts like it tastes better than it does, and he's super dramatic about it, and he's like, this is so good. And I always call him out on it, and he's like, yeah, it wasn't that good. Every time.
Sometimes it works to make me think it's good. Ouch! Welcome to a reality of van life every single day. Bang! Bang!
Story time!
Bang!
Story time!
Oh no.
Oh, this is a good story. No, it's not. So we were in Valdez, and...
Sorry, Krista's mom and dad.
Yeah. We were in Valdez, and we were parked at a pullout for the night, and our friends were also parked there. But I was doing some journaling, and I couldn't find my pen that I do my journaling with, and it was the pen that I always use. And I was getting frustrated because I couldn't find it, and it was nowhere to be found. I tore the bed apart, I looked all over the counters, and then eventually I saw it down in the crack between, like over here, between the doors and the bed. So I dug down there for it, really excited, stuck my arm down, got it out. I was like, yay! And I got up and smashed my head on the corner of the cupboards, and it hurt so much. I started crying, and I was balled up on the bed in so much pain, and Will's there comforting me, and eventually when I sat up, my hands were just covered in blood. It wasn't funny at the moment, but looking back now, I was totally fine. But just the spot that I hit on my head, just like, your head tends to bleed a lot, so it looked worse than it actually was.
Still was very scary.
Yeah,
Don't do it again.
Our friends in the van next to us, Ken's, she's a nurse, so I feel like I could have got some help there if it was, if anything was worse than it was.
Better than the actual smoothie turned out, but I mean, it's still good. I'm still glad I did it.
You're lying. You don't like it, do you?
No, it's not bad.
Okay, this is my smoothie at this moment. I've drank most of it, and this is Will's. He's barely touched it. Usually he's done by now.
I'm savoring it.
No, you're not. You're having a hard time drinking it. Admit it.
Never.
Well, I just had a really rough, probably almost hour. How long would you say that was?
I'd say it was probably more than an hour.
More than an hour. I was putting my contacts in for the day, and one of my contacts, I don't know when, it probably tore yesterday when I took them out, but I put it in my eye and it just ripped. And the one piece, this tiny piece came out, but this piece stayed in my eye, and I just could not get it out. I tried everything. I tried like massaging, and I tried making myself cry a lot, and spent like a good hour or so trying to get it out of my eye. So today I am going to be wearing glasses because I'm not sticking contacts back in my eye today after that. My eye is still irritated, and it still feels like there's a piece in there, but we puzzled this back together and determined that it's all out. I even ripped well, I didn't rip it, but I pulled the other contact out of my eye because I was not leaving that one in. Fun stuff.
They don't make these to scrape the inside. It doesn't do a very good job.
The outside doesn't even need any scraping. Just the inside. We're currently in Prudhoe Bay, Deadhorse, Alaska. We just spent the last couple of days driving up here, and now we're just gonna spend a little bit of time before we start heading back down. We've had a really eventful last couple of days. Some good, some not so great. Our second night on the drive up, we got a beautiful aurora show. The sky was just lit up for most of the night, and it was like greens and pinks and reds. It was just really magical. We were up pretty late for that, and then when we finally went to bed, our CO alarm detector went off like 3 times and woke us up.
Because the heater was frosting over a little heater air intake. So eventually I finally took that off after trying to just defrost it, and so it was just sucking straight in with no filter, and that solved the problem.
But I'm glad it woke us up because we could have been dead by now.
yeah, I don't want to mess with carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, really glad we have it. But yeah, it really sucked that it had to go off 3 times in the night, and we just woke up exhausted the next morning. And then we left the next morning, and we're just driving on an icy road the whole time. We were fishtailing every now and then, and every time a truck would go by it was a little sketchy. At one point Will rolled his window down and it just would not go back up, so he had to push it up and tape it down so that, tape it so that it would stay up, and it's still taped. But we kind of want our windows up here in the Arctic when it's really cold out.
Yeah.
And there are polar bears lurking around about. There was a polar bear up here 3-4 days ago.
Something like that.
That was spotted, so I'm sure there's at least one still around, or some that lurk around down here every now and then. So that was fun. then we got to see some muskox. We got to see a herd of muskox, and we were talking. We're like, oh, there's no way we're gonna see an Arctic fox up here, and that is the one animal we wanted to see the most, besides polar bear.
Yeah.
And not even 10 minutes later, we saw 3 Arctic foxes. There was a bunch of other foxes, like black ones and red foxes, just kind of like around, but they all took off. They got skittish. But the Arctic foxes stayed by the side of the road, feeding off of a caribou carcass, and we're able to get so close to them to get some photos. So that was really nice. And then we continued, and the road just got even more icy from there.
It was really sketchy.
I felt like I could skate across the road.
Yeah, the wind was blowing us around like fishtailing, so
Yeah.
that was actually the scariest part of the drive, not Adigan Pass, which is what I was expecting.
Yeah, so yeah, we were pretty exhausted yesterday, and then we get up here in Prudhoe Bay and we find a spot for the night, and we put on our heater, and we're starting to get ready to make dinner, and all of a sudden, we just hear the heater stop. And we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
We made it up here and it's like the coldest place and we have no heat.
Yeah.
But luckily, Will was able to figure it out, got it back on, and
Took a few tries. It was giving an E8,
Yeah.
so it was having problems with fuel supply, but eventually we got her going and stayed toasty warm last
Yeah.
night, so that was good.
yeah. And then of course this morning woke up and Will's door's not working. He can't get it open.
Both the exterior and interior handle are
Yeah.
now broken.
So this is our only, like my door here is our only fully working door. The side door is a little iffy.
Yeah, off and on.
That's wonderful. But
What happens when you drive a 20-year-old van to the
Yeah.
Arctic?
And then of course I had to get my contact in my eye, like it had to rip in my eye, and spent a good hour trying to get that out. My eyes still, if you see me like twitching with my eyes, because I can still, like it still feels a little weird. It feels like there's something in there even though there's not. And if there is a tiny piece, I'll eventually get it out with like just naturally, like it'll come out. But yeah, it's been pretty eventful.
Yeah, it's not all glitz and glamour van life in the Arctic. There's a reason this isn't a highly trafficked van life
Yeah.
destination in the winter. We haven't seen a single other camper or van or anything up here, so
Yeah. And our power's been a struggle too. If you've watched our previous videos, you probably know that already, how we've been struggling with the power situation. And
just keeping the
just not
batteries warm
charging.
enough to charge. It's
Yeah.
like it's so cold that they don't stay warm enough, and
Yeah.
so that's been a pain.
But, oh well, we made it up here, and I'm really happy we made it up here. I'm happy with all the experiences we got to have. I have some funny stories, like we're laying on the side of the road taking pictures of the Arctic foxes, and a trucker slowed down and kind of like, he was like concerned about us. And I thought about it later. I gave him a thumbs up so he could go, and I thought about it later. I'm like, geez, he just saw like an animal carcass on the side of the road and 2 people laying in the ditch.
Yeah.
I think that must have looked so concerning to him.
Yeah.
But we were good, and yeah, it's nice that there's a lot of truckers up this way. They always like seem to check in and make sure you're good. If you're like parked off the side of the road, everyone's always checking in to make sure you're good. So if you ever do come up here in the winter, there is a lot of truck traffic, and you will be okay.
But it's not a walk in the park, not your easy relax on the beach kind of vacation for sure.
Yeah, but today we got a little bit of work to do. I need to get a YouTube video up, and then we're gonna get some coffee here. I want a London Fog. It's the only coffee shop here. And then we're gonna slowly probably start making our way back down.
We're gonna show you around the little
Yeah.
town here first, show you what life is like in the winter, just 3 miles from the Arctic Ocean here. This is the northernmost road accessible
Yeah.
town in all of North America, so
Yeah, and
pretty
you
cool.
can actually take a bus up to the Arctic Ocean here in the summer. It runs from May to like what, September probably?
yeah.
But in the winter, there's no way to get up there. You're not allowed to like hike up, even though it's only like 3 miles away.
Yeah, the oil fields have it all restricted and have security and
And
stuff.
also, like, I don't know if I'd want to walk all that way by myself.
With
like,
polar bears out
polar
here,
bears
yeah.
looking around. Like, there was a polar bear here like 4 days ago. So.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're actually not that rare to come a little bit down this way.
So, yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe we'll see one.
We're gonna go get some coffee now. we just got back from exploring the Aurora. I noticed on the way in they have these big, what would you call that?
Like charging racks.
Yeah,
I don't know,
charging racks. So if you're not from a place that gets cold and snowy, like Canada or Alaska, or I don't know, maybe people in like Norway do this too. But,
yeah, I'm sure.
We have to charge our vehicles. We have to plug our vehicles in the winter to make sure that our vehicle starts in the morning.
Yeah, it has basically a little heater that keeps the engine a nice temperature, so it'll start up.
Yeah. So they have big charging racks out there with just plugs hanging down for everybody who's up here to charge their vehicles, which is pretty handy. I feel like a lot of parking lots in Canada should have that.
Yeah.
It might not have to be that extreme, but you know, just for some people who might need it. But yeah, we went in, we explored the Aurora. The coffee was good, surprisingly not super expensive. There was a grab-and-go cafe. They had cookies that were like 75 cents, which was awesome. They were so delicious. We got the cranberry white chocolate chip ones.
So good.
And then we tried climbing to the top floor to see the Arctic Ocean. The top floor was the 3rd floor, so it wasn't that high, and it's snowing out. Everything's just white, so of course we didn't see it.
Maybe on a clear day. Like
Yeah.
if you come out here and you don't want to pay for the tour, maybe you can get a glimpse of it by climbing up the top floor of the Aurora.
Yeah. I think I'd be more disappointed about not seeing the Arctic Ocean if we hadn't already seen it in the Northwest Territories already.
Definitely.
But since we already seen it, it's not too big of a deal to not be able to see it up here. But yeah, make sure you go check out that video if you haven't already. We drove all the way up the Dalton Highway and we swam in the Arctic Ocean. It was a lot of fun.
If we were getting to the Arctic Ocean now, it would be, it's more of the Arctic ice sheet, so.
Yeah, and we would not be going for a swim this
Yeah.
time. No, thank you. But yeah, they also, if you want to get a meal up here, you can actually go in here and pay $25 or something like that
Yeah.
to like have a whole buffet.
Looked like it was pretty good,
Yeah,
probably.
they
like,
have a different menu. It looks like every day. Like they actually have some pretty delicious food up here, I feel. Also prices in the stores, at least in this store, like chocolate bars were $2, not too bad. Other things were not overpriced.
little
But the-
grab and go was
Yeah.
so cheap.
Oh
like,
yeah, the grab and go was so cheap.
$6 for an entree, 75 cents for a cookie.
Yeah. We stopped in the general store last night and there was no prices on anything, so I don't know what the prices are like there. They might be the same, and
Or they might be
or they might be terrible. So if you go there and chocolate bars are like $6, come here instead.
Yeah. It was kind of cool walking through the building. It's like almost feels like a giant dorm or hotel. Apparently, a lot of the workers up here, they do 21 days on, 21 days off. So they'll work for a little less than a month and they'll fly home wherever that is for a little less than a month, and they kind of just rotate in and out. So there's actually no like permanent homes up here. People don't like have houses where they have their family. They just come up here, work, and then go back to wherever they have their actual home. So I'm sure that's probably a little hard to do.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough, a little isolating, but at least, you know, it seems like they have decent Wi-Fi and, you know, good facilities, you know, good services. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do that, I don't think.
Yeah, me neither.
Be a little hard.
But I'm sure they make a lot of money.
I would hope so. I wonder if I left them over there.
The keys? No. I would have saw them when I got on the seat. I always look at the seat.
Happened to unlock the van.
You always seem to lose the keys. Well, they're in the ignition.
Oops.
Will always loses the keys. Like, at least 3 times a week he's looking for them, and they're always in a really stupid spot. I think we've decided we're gonna stay up here for another night. We're gonna see if we could plug in here and charge up. Our battery went from like what, 70-something% yesterday to
50.
like 50 this morning. So we're at half battery and we want to take our time going down, so it's best if we are able to charge up before we start making our way back down. We're going to try to see the Arctic foxes again today, but there's no guarantee they're going to be there again.
And they might be there tomorrow anyway.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, they might still be there tomorrow. Will just turned down the road to to head to the Arctic Ocean. He has hopes that we're going to be able to go, but I really don't think so.
Yeah, they supposedly haven't really locked down with security as much that when you come in the summer you have to book your tour like 24 hours in advance so they can do a background check on you. So I don't think we have much chance of getting in, but hey, we're here, might as well try, right?
I wonder why it's so
like
intense.
Security risks on the oil field, I guess. Like it's a national security interest.
That's fair. This is where the polar bear was seen by one of the truckers a few days ago. He showed us a photo. It was pretty cool.
Oh, we're slipping a little bit.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah. It's just such an interesting town here. Like, it feels like you're, off near the railroad tracks or something in a normal city, like an industrial area, but the whole town of Prudhoe Bay is that, and it's just warehouse after warehouse after warehouse. Trucks. I don't think I've seen a single car. All trucks. It's really a unique feeling. We're just driving around here, seeing what we can see, but I don't know, it'd be so weird to live up here.
Here, Mr. Polar Bear. Where are you? I think we should go ask some of the construction or workers up here that are in the cafeteria there.
Yeah.
If they've seen any today or yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Because you never know. They could be like, yeah, there's one just hanging out over there.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Maybe we just drove by it.
They blend in.
Oh, yeah. Just looked at the weather for the next day from today until tomorrow, and it's looking like we're gonna get a little bit of a winter storm up here. We're expecting about 6 inches of snow, which is quite a bit. It's not a whole lot, but it's still quite a bit of snow. Could be worse. But also it's supposed to get really windy tomorrow, and with the little bit of wind that we had on the way up here the last couple of days, it was pretty sketchy driving on the ice roads.
Also, like with visibility, if the wind picks up the
Yeah.
snow, it can come wide out really
And
quick.
tomorrow the gusts are supposed to get up to over like 40 some kilometers an hour, which is pretty strong. So having those gusts on the pure ice road we drove up here on is a little too sketchy. So we're just gonna take a look at Windy and see if it's better inland or if we should head out today.
Yeah.
Originally we were gonna head out today, but then we decided to stay up here for the whole day and just kind of hang out, but we'll see what Windy tells us. We're back at the Aurora Hotel Cafe place. We're gonna go inside and ask around if anyone has seen any polar bears.
Yeah, maybe.
Why not? It's our best bet, I think, in finding any or seeing any. And even if we can get a glimpse of one, I'll be happy. Like, I don't even need a good photo. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I'd love to get a good photo, but
Just seeing one.
would
enough.
be pretty awesome.
We also checked the Windy app, and it looks like the wind is only going to be right here in Deadhorse and on the coast, and once you get a few miles inland, it shouldn't be too bad. So we're going to spend the night, and we're going to see if we can get away with plugging in here, so we can charge up our battery a little bit to make sure that we got enough charge to continue the Arctic adventure a little longer.
Yay! We got a little bit of work done today, and we chatted with one of the workers up here about polar bears. He doesn't think it's going to be very likely for us to see one, but that's okay. We weren't expecting to see one anyways.
It was really interesting talking to the guy. He said he's worked here for 10 years, and he talked about polar bears and grizzlies. He said there's actually a lot of grizzlies here too, which I found surprising. But the polar bears come through in fall and spring mainly, before kind of moving their way out to the ice. He also told us that there's around 10,000 workers here that are like on site at any given time, and that is really impressive. Like, that might be one of the most people, or is probably the most people anywhere in the Arctic, highest concentration.
We just made some pasta for dinner, and we're gonna watch some Dreaming Spanish while we eat, and then after that we're gonna have a little mini date night.
Uh-oh. We got E8 on the diesel heater. We got this yesterday too, and we were able to get it started back up, but I don't know how many times we'll be able to get it started up. It's really important that we have heat up here, so we're gonna try. I'm gonna keep trying, but yeah, this is a little worrying. Not the place you want to have heater troubles.
Wait to turn on our fan. You can start smelling the not good air in here.
Yeah. Please work, heater, please work. And E8 again, it's a low fuel error. We're gonna try to start her up. Maybe this time it'll work. Man, I just realized something bad.
What?
How are we gonna refuel when I can't open my door? Because the fuel door flap has to be accessed by opening my door.
That poses an issue?
It does pose an issue, so I'm gonna have to take the door apart tomorrow. Yay!
In strong winds. Yay!
I'll get it figured out. And we're getting the error code again. Fourth time's the charm, maybe. It's kind of annoying that it takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something to actually shoot out the error code. But we'll get it. Well, we're on try number 5 and still getting E8. Yeah, it's starting to get more than a little worrying. You can see Krista all curled up. It's getting pretty cold in here. I'm gonna go outside and see if I can figure anything out outside looking at it, but I think we're just gonna have to keep trying starting it. I don't want to have to take the whole heater apart when it's so cold out. It's very chilly out here. Not the kind of temperature I want to be working on a diesel heater. So hopefully I can get it fixed without having to do anything really out here.
Is that what happened in Colorado?
No.
Where you had to pull everything out.
It's a big job.
And it took you like 5 hours?
Yeah.
No.
You should probably get into your sleeping bag, bundle up, because I think at this point I gotta start looking at taking it apart.
Are you going outside?
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside first and see what I can do out there, and then I don't know, I might have to come take the seat off and yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna give it a whirl.
Well, I'm gonna run inside. I'm gonna look at my eye. It feels like there's still something in it. It's been bugging me all day, so I'm gonna get a better look and try to cry it out or something. I'm gonna see if the store's still open and get Will a snack. I feel bad. Like, I asked how to help, but he said there's nothing I can do. To just get warm in a sleeping bag. Success. Got a couple of snacks. There's a restroom here, but I think I'm gonna go to the private one. I don't want anyone seeing me try to cry to get this out of my eye. It's weird. It's not bugging me as much now, but I think it's still in there. Or my eye's just really irritated. Hello. Okay. I'm gonna keep my glasses on. As much as I like to think I'm not blind, I think my eyesight is actually worse than it used to be. There's definitely some eye boogies. Whatever it is, it feels like it's moving around in there. I forgot to bring the water jug out. I was gonna fill it up and get some water to boil so that Will can wash up when he gets dirty. Let's have some nice water to warm his hands up. I'm gonna have to start off like slow though. I don't want to make it boiling hot. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have said boiled water. I'm gonna warm up some water for him. Make him a hot chocolate. Okay. Actually, I think it might be gone now. You can see my eye is still pretty red. It's almost bloodshot. No, it's not that bad. Make myself tear up. I think it might have actually come up. Could be wrong though, I don't feel it. Oh, I don't see it either, so I feel like whatever it is, it's too small to see. I don't feel it anymore, so if I start to feel it again, I just make myself cry again. And hopefully it comes out. I'm gonna go get the water jug and fill it up. Alright, let's go. jug. I'm gonna go fill it up. So it's actually only -10, only -10 Celsius outside right now. But it feels like -21. And like, you know, being outside -21 is kind of stupid. Bare hands. Like you touch metal and it burns. Just realized I didn't lock the door. Yeah, it burns. And I feel so bad for him under there. Like I don't know if he's wearing gloves or what. It's a really tough situation to be in. You know, if this happened to us in like Arizona, we'd be dying. Or if it was only like 5 Celsius out, you know, we'd just bundle up in sleeping bags and we'll be okay. But I mean, we'll be okay in -20 if we can't get it going. But I mean, it's not ideal, and it's still gonna get really cold. We have full winter gear. We have sleeping bags. We have 2 sleeping bags that are good for like -15 or so. Plus our big winter coats, winter boots, like snow pants. So it would be fine, realistically, but don't worry, we're not going to drink this water. It's mainly for warming up hands after. I don't know if I'd trust to drink this. You know, I just realized you could totally just come in here to clean up. And there's running hot water. It would be so much easier. But at least I got some snacks, and he can choose what he wants, if he wants to clean up in the van or in here. I'm gonna dry my hands good, because wet hands out in that cold is not fun. Well, the exciting moment of me coming back to the van got corrupt. The audio is kaput.
It's gone, not there. Thankfully, we realized it now, so we can talk about what happened while it's still fresh.
Yeah, I got back to the van, saw that Will wasn't under there, and I was like, oh! I opened the door, and I was like, did you get it working? And he's like, yep.
Literally just a few seconds before I was calling her to tell her.
Whoa, look at the fuzz.
Anyway, I went out there and I actually tried blowing into the air intake, and that was able to kickstart it after a few tries. I was able to start it on the lowest power setting, and that got it going. Though I think this is probably just a temporary fix. I think there's some sort of carbon buildup in the heater, and I'll probably have to take it apart, but hopefully it'll be able to limp on until Fairbanks. We're gonna run it at full power all night tonight, which should hopefully like burn off all the carbon, or at least burn off some of the carbon enough to get us to Fairbanks, because oh man, it was not fun out there. Just for the 10 minutes, 15 minutes I was out there, my fingers and toes were already getting so cold, and I would have had to take gloves off to work on it, so.
I was thinking about that in the bathroom. I was like walking inside, like just holding things. I'm like, my hands are freezing. Like, that must really suck for you under there. I didn't know if you're wearing gloves or not.
Yeah, I would have had to take gloves off to work with the. It's a really tight space, and there's some really small bolts. It's a big job at getting it undone. But that's a job for another day. Hopefully down in the sunny south, maybe Fairbanks, maybe even further south. But for now, we've got heat, and I am so thankful.
Yay. You know, we were hoping to have at least some chill time on this adventure to the Arctic, but we were expecting some things to go wrong, like a thing or two, but not like everything and every day. We're supposed to have a date night tonight. We're gonna watch Logan and make some clay figures again. But we kind of don't have enough time. It's almost bedtime. But we're still gonna make some clay figures, I think, and eat some snacks, and then hopefully have a nice sleep with no alarm tonight. All right, we're gonna make some clay figurines. We've got our clay here. And since we saw some Arctic foxes, this is the one we're gonna make. Or attempt to, at least. We'll see how that goes. This one's mine. Oh. This one's Will's. His face.
And here's the reference.
Neither of them are as cute as the reference, but
It was still
they're
fun.
still fun.
And
they're
they're
still
cute.
really cute. Well, today was an eventful day. It's been an eventful last couple of days. But now we're gonna check in for the night. Gonna watch some Big Bang Theory and head to bed. I'm tired.
DiCaprio, Romeo and Juliet. Oh, I love me some Leo.
And it's gone.
We were really hoping to not have to drive south in an Arctic whiteout, but here we are. Everything's just pure white. Wow,
That was really cool.
that was really cool.
Just that alone makes coming up the Arctic worth it. This is really tricky. I'm a little stumped right now.